really loved my bedroom at Eve's house. It wasn't quite as big as this one, but it was my own. I had to share a room always with one of my sisters when I was growing up, so I was happy that I got my own room at Eve's. I own posters.
Of old movies?
Are there any other kind? And I found these great Chinese lanterns at a discount store, and I put silk scarves and peacock feathers all over. It was very dramatic.
What a shock.
Nobody ever really bothered me, except Louis would stop by, stand in the doorway, ask me a question, or, and then as time went on, he would start coming in and he would sit on my desk chair. We'd talk about old movies, and he liked the war ones. And one night, he came in and he closed the door and he locked it. And before I could even ask him why he was locking us in, he gave me this really weird look, which stopped me cold. And then he said, "It'll be fun." And I was, what would be fun? And then he pushed me onto the bed, which shocked me, and he got on top of me, and I tried to push him off, but I couldn't. I tried to hit him, but that just made him mad. He slapped me and tore my shirt and put his hands everywhere. I screamed, but he put his hand over my mouth, and I had a knife from dinner on my nightstand, and I reached for it, but it fell. I stared at the ceiling the whole time, so I didn't have to look at his face. I had this poster from my favorite movie, A Picnic in the Park, on my wall, and I just kept staring at it and just kind of went away. Afterwards, Louis told me not to tell anyone, or I would regret it. He left, and I was bleeding, which really scared me. So I went to the hospital. But they kept asking me all kinds of questions, so I left.
Where'd you go?
Home. Well, back to Eve's house. The next morning I called Henry, and I asked him if I could come here, and he tried to talk me out of it, but I begged him because I couldn't stay there. I knew that Eve would be watching me, and she would figure it out, and I couldn't do that to her. So I thought I could come here and forget everything, and it would be okay. That's why I lied to you about being a virgin, because I didn't want to admit that things had changed.
Addie, you didn't lie to me. And I'm not saying that nothing changed, because of course it did. But what happened to you was rape. virgin.
Virgin means that you haven't had sex.
So, okay. Technically, you've had physical experience, but you said it yourself. The part that was you wasn't really there. And I'm glad because it must have been awful.
It was. I felt so helpless and violated.
Yeah, it was an attack. And you're lucky you survived.
I guess.
Listen. When you make love with someone that you really, truly care about, and I'm not saying that I have any experience because I don't, because what happened with Gwen and I, we were both really drunk and we barely even remember it. But I do know that when you really care for someone, you just want to get closer and closer and you never want it to end.
I wouldn't know.
Exactly. Because it hasn't happened yet. You're still a virgin. Maddie, when we make love, it'll be the first time.